Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. My name is J Pro, and I help personal injury firms achieve $1 million months. I'm gonna tell you about a conversation I had with a personal injury attorney out in Dallas. I'm gonna name him Mike to protect his privacy. So Mike calls me up, he's frustrated. He's been practicing for about 12 years. He's getting about 25 cases a month to his law firm. Mike does pretty well for himself. Compared to most people, Mike's doing pretty well. But Mike wants to be at 100 cases a month. So Mike calls me, he's telling me about his competitors in Dallas area. They're on TV, radio, billboards, and he's asking me how does he compete with that? They must be at 100 cases a month. But what he didn't realize is he's asking the wrong questions. And by the end of this video, you'll see what I mean. Because 6 months later, Mike's firm is doing steadily 85 to 90 cases a month, and he's on track to be hitting his first $1 million months. But here's the crazy part. He didn't actually do what he thought he actually needed to do. See, Mike's first instinct was to do what yours probably is to do as well, which is compete with billboards, TV, and radio, brand awareness marketing. So he comes to me with his elaborate plan. He's like, I got 50K a month, J Pro. I want to spend it on all this elaborate things. See, Mike really wants to get his name out there in the Dallas area, in Texas in general. So I had to stop him right there and I said, Mike, when somebody gets in a car accident, what do you think they're thinking? And he tells me, well, they're probably hurt. They probably got medical bills. They probably are missing work. They got to fix their car, all this jazz. And I said, yeah. When that person is online searching car accident attorneys in my local area, do you think they're thinking about a billboard they saw on the I-35? No. So why are you thinking about putting out billboards for an audience that doesn't even need you right now? So this is what Mike didn't understand. Car accident victims, they don't care about your brand, your reputation, or any of that jazz. You know what they really care about? They care about, can you get me paid and how fast? See, and Mike was about to spend 50K a month on branding for people that weren't even in accidents yet. So then I said, hey, Mike, you're looking at this all backwards. Those law firms didn't start with branding. They started with something completely different. The firms that are doing 100 cases a month, they're not doing branding. They're doing direct response marketing. So here's how it works. Instead of posting up a billboard, a TV ad, or a radio ad, hoping that somebody might need you, what direct response is, it's a fog that covers the market. The person who's been in the accident at the right time sees your ad and immediately speaks to them so they reach out to you. So I told Mike, there are hundreds of people in Dallas and in Texas getting accidents every single day. So your job isn't to predict who gets hurt. Your job is to be the first attorney they see when they do get hurt. So we started Mike on a direct response campaign at just 17K a month. Nothing fancy, no radio, no billboard, just straight Facebook ads. And within 30 days, Mike was getting 20 to 30 new leads per week. So this is where most firms screw this up. So Mike calls me after month one. He calls me in a panic, pretty much says that he's getting all these leads, but he's only been able to convert one case. And this is where we found bottleneck one. Bottleneck one was intake. We did an audit on Mike's intake, and what we found is he had Shirley, his receptionist, calling the leads. And Shirley, God bless her heart, she's a wonderful woman. She just could not get a hold of these guys. When you're running direct response, these are cold leads. These aren't your referrals who are gonna be answering your call off of the first ring. So what we did was we implemented a new strategy and built him out a whole intake team. So Mike was treating this like as an administrative function. Someone will fill out the form and then his receptionist would call the lead maybe one time and then maybe a few days later, one more time. But what Mike didn't understand was these leads are cold. They're shopping around, they're talking to multiple attorneys because unlike referral leads, which are hot and ready to go, direct response leads don't know you from anyone else. So I told Mike, hey, your intake team, they're not taking orders, they're making sales. Intake is just a fancy word to say sales team. So what we did is we completely overhauled Mike's intake process. First thing, speed to lead. Everything gets called within 60 seconds. 5 minutes at the very latest if the leads are pouring in. Step two, follow-up. What we did is we had his intake team follow with every single lead 3 times a day for 21 days. Remember, the sale is made in the follow-up, and most firms give up after 1 or 2 attempts. The third step we did with Mike's team is training. We trained Mike's team on empathy, trust building, and objection handling. So while most low-tier intake teams are very passive with their calls, Mike's team was now leading with empathy. They were building trust and they knew how to objection handle. By the end of the call, the DocuSign was sent and filled. So they stopped being order takers and they became closers. Mike went from closing only 1 case a month to 10 cases a month, almost overnight. He was spending around $1,700 cost per case. In personal injury and marketing, that's really freaking good. So now Mike's getting around 20, 30 leads per week and closing around 10 cases per month. So now Mike calls me back. He said, it's freaking working. I'm ready to scale up. How do we go big? That's when I knew Mike was ready for the next phase. So then we increased Mike's ad spend from 17K to 35K a month. More leads, more conversions, same process. So then we went to 60K a month. Now Mike had to hire more attorneys, more paralegals, more legal assistants to handle the volume. Finally, we scaled Mike up to 90K in ad spend, and he's closing around 50 cases a month. And here's where things got really interesting. What Mike found out was from those 50 cases he was signing a month, they were starting to refer him people in 3s. So let me just break that down for you real quick. So if one person refers you 3 more people, out of those 50 cases, that is now 150 potential cases in the pipeline. Now, if those people then refer you 3 more people, that's now 450 potential cases in your pipeline. You see, this is the ripple effect that most attorneys never experience because they're still stuck in the old way of waiting for organic referrals. So Mike calls me and says, you know what's crazy? I'm starting to get bigger cases now than ever. I just signed a $2 million case from a referral. And that's when I explained to Mike the $1 million insight most attorneys miss. So I say to Mike, you were only trying to chase the big cases before, but that's like betting on lottery tickets. What you've built now is a predictable system that generates cash flow and creates a referral network that produces those big cases naturally. So let's do some quick math for you real quick. If you're at 50 cases per month, averaging 8K a case, that's 400K per month. And that's $4.8 million a year in predictable revenue, plus the ripple effect that brings in the $1 million cases as a bonus. See, now Mike's not waiting for lightning to strike anymore. He's built a machine that generates cases predictably. So let me break down what Mike did, because this is the framework that every 7 to 8 figure law firm uses. First, you're gonna run direct response marketing to generate cases. We went from 17K to 35K to 60K to 90K a month as we proved the system worked. Second, professional intake that treats every lead like a sales opportunity. This took Mike from 1 case a month to 10 cases a month to 50 cases a month. And third, a scalable fulfillment capacity that takes your law firm from you working 70 hours a week to your law firm working as a true business. And this is how you go from 25 cases a month to 100 cases a month predictably. See, Mike thought he had to outspend his competitors in branding, but what he really needed was a case generating system. So if you want help building this system in your firm, that's what we do here at Loudr Media. We specialize in helping personal injury attorneys scale to 7-figure months using this exact system. Check out the link in the description if you're ready to stop playing small and start building your own case generating machine. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment below how many cases your firm is at and where do you want to go. I'll see you on the next one.